It may paint a good photograph for your listeners to know that Ruth and I are both PKs. She's a pastor's kid, and I'm a pagan's kid. And she cannot remember not knowing Jesus. Around her breakfast table, dinner table, having missionaries in their house, spending nights. It's just normal for her. And knowing Christ at a very early age, writing papers about being a missionary by 9-10 years of age. And I'm raised in a construction farming family, 6 boys. A little girl came along about the time I went to college. My dad came and got me off of a baseball field, pretty good, too small to play football, though I played it. And said, I've got good news and bad news. My dad's a tough guy. I mean, rough, tough guy. He said, I've got good news and bad news. I said, what's the good news? He said, Kraft Foods cheese factory has hired you, so you're going to get to go to college. It was supposed to be a good summer job. I said, well, then what's the bad news? He said, you start tonight. I said, well, I've got 11 weeks of high school left. He said, you want to go to school or not? I said, yes. He said, then you start tonight. So from 7 in the evening to 3:30 in the morning, last 11 weeks of high school, I worked in a cheese factory, walked off the baseball field, walked away from girlfriends, walked away from everything that teenagers do. And Jesus cornered me in that cheese factory and audibly spoke to my heart 3 times in a 45-minute period. And that's where I knelt, gave my life to Christ, left there, went to see 2 local pastors the next day, never met them, told them what had happened to me. They said to me, Travis, you're not a Christian. God doesn't speak to people directly. He speaks to them through the preaching of the word in the church. And I didn't know what that was. And I found a young pastor, and he said, well, it sounds like Jesus has captured your heart. And I said, yes. He said, well, give up your scholarship to University of Kentucky to be a veterinarian, and you need to go to the Baptist college. I said, why would I want to be that? He said, well, you need to be a pastor. I said, why? He said, well, it sounds like you want to be full-time in the gospel. And I just was puzzled. I said, I didn't know I could be part-time.